India posted a robust 8.2% GDP growth supported by strong manufacturing and services activity. However, the IMF assigned India a grade C in national income accounting, highlighting structural weakness and statistical gaps. Current growth performance. India's economic output for the quarter reached Rs 48.63 lakh crore, significantly higher than the previous year. The broad-based expansion shows that the current momentum goes beyond a mere post-pandemic rebound. Manufacturing grew 9.1%, indicating stronger industrial demand and higher capacity utilization. Services expanded 9.2%, now forming 60% of GDP, with financial services at 10.2%, signaling buoyant credit growth and high transaction volume. Agriculture, supported by improved reservoir levels and horticulture output, rose 3.5%, showing a slight improvement in rural incomes. Real GVA rose from 82.88 lakh crore to 89.41 lakh crore, confirming real value creation rather than price effects. Crucially, nominal GDP grew only 8.8%, showing that inflation, previously a major concern, remained under control through 24-25. Household consumption grew 7.9%, reflecting resilient domestic demand. Macroeconomic stability indicators. Several macro indicators underline India's economic resilience. Inflation eased, dipping even below target toward the end of 24-25. Bank credit growth remained strong, with well-capitalized banks holding buffers above regulatory norms. Fiscal consolidation continued, supported by buoyant GST and direct tax revenues. The current account deficit remained modest, held by strong services exports and diversified forex reserves. These signals collectively suggest that India continues to grow even as global economic activity weakens. IMF Grade C assessment. What it means. Despite India's strong growth number, the IMF assigned India a Grade C for its national income accounting framework. This rating does not evaluate the GDP growth rate itself, but the statistical system supporting it. Key shortcomings highlighted: use of an outdated base year 2011-12, dependence on the wholesale price index due to the absence of producer price index deflator, single deflation method which introduces cyclical bias, significant gaps between production and expenditure data indicating incomplete coverage of the informal sector and expenditure component, lack of seasonally adjusted data in quarterly accounts, no consolidated data sets for states and local bodies after 2019. The IMF view suggests that India's statistical backbone needs strengthening to match its income muscle. Uneven recovery across sectors. Despite strong headline numbers, the growth pattern shows unevenness, meaning grew barely 0.04% due to prolonged monsoon disruption. Electricity and utilities grew only 4.4%, affected by a mid-winter, reducing peak load demand. These sectors are foundational for industrial growth. Their sluggish performance indicates that the recovery has not spread uniformly across the real company. The sectoral contribution to GVA stands at primary 14%, secondary 26%, tertiary 60%. This structure a service-driven economy, but India's employment profile still remains heavily titled toward low productivity agriculture and informal services. Structural vulnerabilities. India's long-term challenges, highlighted both by the RBI and IMF, include weak export competitiveness, trade protectionism, tariff uncertainty, and global geopolitical tension threaten India's export growth. Structural scaling of goods export remain limited. Labor productivity issues. A mismatch exists between India's output structure and its employment structure. A large share of the workforce remains in low productive sectors. Fragile statistical and institutional capacity. The absence of updated base years, comprehensive data, and modern statistical tools weakens policy evaluation. External pressure on the rupee. Although seemingly stable, the rupee continued to face downward pressure due to a strong US dollar and fluctuating foreign capital flows. These issues do not negate India's growth achievement but underscore the need for deeper institutional reform to sustain high growth over time.